Okay, I think we're good now. How about now? How about now? How about now? How about now? All right, all right, all right, all right. Phew. All right. So please excuse the tardiness, but yeah, it was a long day. Thank you guys for joining me. Excuse the hair; it's a bit messy, but that's okay. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna work through it. Because at the end of the day, it's all handsome is still very much in the building. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is great to see you all. Hello, hello, hello to everybody. Um, it is always a pleasure to see you guys. And of course, so we can get into some things. Um, and please, yeah, if you got, choices and opinions and certain views, please do share them. The link is also there. So later on in the show, I would like to know everybody's input because we will be talking about, the slap heard around the world and other things. But of course, first we would have to get to the business at hand, which is, of course, what else but what's going on in the real world, what really matters. So, Brother Nate, let me know when you're ready to roll and we can get to it. Hey. Oh, no, I feel
Hey,
I'm
how you
just
doing?
dark over here. I'm okay, running and ripping like crazy, but I'm all right.
Okay. I'm getting a little bit of feedback from you.
Okay.
I can hear echo.
This is probably too loud. How about now? Still feedback?
Yes.
Okay. How about now? Still feedback?
You're good.
Okay. You sure?
Positive.
All right. Um,
Shit, everybody raggedy tonight. Uh-oh.
right.
You got a landing strip there?
I messed up, so I called myself trying to. It's getting cut off tonight.
Uh-oh. You're going to have a baby face.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a baby face. I mean, I already have one, so it doesn't help me. I used to try to keep the hair on my face so that way people don't, like, how old are you? Um, how are you?
I'm doing fine, and I'm still getting that feedback from you.
Oh man.
I can hear it. It's real low wherever it is.
You know what? Let me just cut this off altogether because I think that's where it's coming from. Trashy ass soundboard that I'm gonna return and still feedback.
No, I'm not hearing anything now.
1, 2, 3, testing. Anything?
Yeah, I can faintly hear it, but keep going.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on now. I don't think I went through all of the channels I need to go through as far as my sound is concerned.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. How y'all doing?
Hey.
I had to put that disclaimer up there because niggas is violent.
Yes. So first of all, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button, please. Sorry, I'm like flaking out over here. So make sure you hit the thumbs up button. And no, I don't smoke or do any drugs. My face is just freaking out. Such a busy week. A lot has been going on. Some of the stories that we're gonna run through, other stories we're gonna spend a little more time in. So let's get started with some. Let's just get started because it's gonna be a long one. All right. Sad news to report. The first Secretary of State during the Clinton administration has passed away sometime, what was that, last week? After
Yes.
we had concluded for the evening. I think it was Wednesday of last week. Madeleine Albright has passed away at the age of, I forgot how old she was, 84. Yeah, and she was parents to immigrants. She, worked her way to becoming Secretary of State. She also served as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations from 1993 to 1997, when, of course, President Bill Clinton at the time, his administration, had nominated her to become the first female Secretary of State. She served in her role from 1997 to 2001. As they always say, Madeleine Albright was a force to be reckoned with, and she definitely did not hold no cut cards, and
she stayed visible
yeah,
way after her.
the whole time. Yeah,
way after her career. Even up to before we even knew that she was even sick.
Right. She really was doing her thing. Excuse me, I'm trying to make sure everything is in order here because things got jumbled. So definitely prayers out to her family. We definitely like to salute whether Republican or Democrat, whatever it is. anybody who, you know what,
Speak, speak,
speak for yourself.
speak for yourself.
Anybody that has passed on,
Now you can be PC all you want to.
anybody that has
Oh, but
passed
believe me,
on.
there
No,
are a few of them
now
I'm
don't
waiting
get me
on.
wrong, there are some people that if the Lord calls them, there will
Hmm
be some great joy in my heart.
Yes, we will party.
Yes. Like what I've just learned about Mr. Clarence Thomas. If
Oh
you ever
yeah.
thought Clarence Thomas was Uncle and Tom, yeah, but we'll get into that a little later. Um, okay, so where did we start? Where did we start? Let's go with here. COVID testing and treatments for uninsureds are due to end due to lack of funding. Almost 28 million Americans will be affected due to the sudden cutoff of the COVID services. And I mean, that C word. So I'm just trying to, because, they be playing games.
Yeah.
So last week, the White House had warned that there would be no additional monies passed by Congress to replenish the C word measures, like surveillance for new variants, purchases of any kind of treatment. All of this would be immediately scaled back. The Biden administration had asked for at least 22 million or 22.5 million in new funding for these ramifications, and the money has not yet been allocated.
Well, you know why? It's going
Yeah,
overseas.
because it's going to Ukraine.
Hmm
I hope it's worth it. I really do. I pray that it's worth it for everybody. I hope it works out for the man. I really, really, really do. And I mean that with all sincerity. Because he's putting a lot of eggs in these baskets that I don't see the point. I really don't see the point. I mean, I see the United States, of course, being the diplomats of the world and keeping peace or maintaining order, but
not at the sacrifice of your own people.
right. At the sacrifice of your own people, yeah. When there's other people who can take part in this policing the world kind of situation, leave me alone. Don't join me. I said I messed up, and it's gonna get cut off. My cousin and my friends are joining on me. But anyway, moving right along from that, because of course, 28 million Americans who already lack health care will now not be able to receive any additional booster shots if there are some.
And they're talking about that too, more booster shots.
Right. So this will then allow whatever's already out there to continue to grow well beyond into the summer months and thereafter. So hope you got your summer bodies ready, because it looks like you'll be inside.
Be inside, huh?
You'll be inside all summer.
All summer long.
Yeah, craziness. Let's see, where else are we going? I did want to do. All right, so that, of course, was a little bit of health. And
do you have a window or something else open?
Do I have a window open?
In your background.
I do have a few. Oh, you know what? That's what it is. It's not on, but it might be that.
Hey, Queen Diva.
And it might be that too. Let me close that. Just remind me when I get towards the what happened to pull up. Who said that to pull up my other thing?
Okay.
How about now? Still that?
Yeah, I'm still hearing it.
Oh gosh. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on.
Oh.
What happened?
Okay, I'm. It's good. I'm not hearing anything now. We'll keep going.
You said that before, and then you'd be like, "I hear it now." But anyway,
no, because it kept coming back because I kept hearing you laughing. I was like, "You didn't say shit funny." Wait a minute.
Yeah, right.
Hey, everybody, how y'all doing?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome.
Queen Diva. Hey, y'all, how you doing, man?
Politics and Wellness. Thank you guys for coming out. Please make sure you hit those thumbs up button when you come in, or if you're just coming in to pop in and walk on out.
Hey, Melissa, girl.
Hey, I want to call you Auntie Melissa, but you know how people be doing on here. They Auntie 1 minute, then the next minute it's like, you bitch. What happened? I thought that was your auntie.
No, we safe with her. Believe me.
Right, right. I know it. I know it. But it's just funny to me.
We
So
love you
anyway,
all. We love you all. Hey, Tadari
right,
girl.
we definitely love everybody. So it's all love here. So anyway, getting back to some news, lawsuits claim that the NYPD, which is the New York City Police Department, has illegally obtained DNA samples from over 32,000 people. Genetic materials in store for a suspect index, according to a federal lawsuit. The lawsuit filed by the Legal Aid Association has accused the New York City Police Department of secretly collecting genetic material from over 32,000 New York citizens and storing them in a rogue DNA database, according to NBC News. The lawsuit was filed in federal court in Manhattan and claimed that the police consistently offered people who were being questioned about a crime to drink being questioned about a crime, a drink, a cigarette, or gum to use the item to collect their DNA. The Facebook post announced that the lawsuit by the Legal Aid Association was going on for decades. The NYPD has used dishonest tactics to obtain New Yorkers' DNA, including those as young as 11 years old, by offering them bottles of water, cigarettes, and other clients detained at the local precincts. I'll just let that sit right there. So when we watching them shows and they be like, "You want a soda pop or you want a soda?" Well, we call it soda in New York, but I know some of you others call
Yeah,
it
call
soda
it
pop
pop.
or pop or whatever the hell you call it. But when they be like, "Oh, you're thirsty? You want a Sprite? I'm going to get a soda. I'm parched. You want a soda?" And they be like, "Yeah, sure, give me a soda." They collecting your shit.
Yeah. Then you hear
Um,
off in the distance, "Gotcha, bitch."
right.
Hmm.
Gotcha, bitch. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Uh,
they're not the only ones doing it. They
right,
just
of
they
course.
just got found
Oh,
out about it.
yeah, of course not. I'm sure it's been a tactic used by the police departments of various cities and
Law and order.
states, right, for the longest time. So that was definitely something to be like, oh shit. But just be mindful that they out patrolling.
Hmm.
They
And
are.
they probably have your DNA.
Right. And they probably already got you. So when you walking around talking about something, that ain't my kid, trust and believe. The cops know.
Yeah, they, they
The
they
cops
know
already
before
know.
you do.
You the daddy, bitch. You the daddy.
Hmm.
So, in all seriousness though, be mindful, be careful.
Yes,
Know
be
that
protective of your DNA.
right, yeah, yeah. Be
It's a
protective
damn
of your
shame.
whole being. You're right, you gotta be protected. Hair strands and all that shit. Just don't leave
Mm,
nothing. Don't leave nothing.
don't leave no liquids nowhere, y'all.
Right. Wipe yourself down. There's spies around. All right. So moving right along, and I know I'm sorry, I'm kind of seem like I'm rushing, but it's a lot.
It's a lot
Uh,
of stuff. That's why I didn't said anything. Go ahead.
yeah, I know it is a lot. Birth control. Birth control pill for men expected to start human trials this year. Let that sink in. The contraceptive, which was created by researchers at the University of Minnesota, because you got to say it like that when you say Minnesota, has been 99% effective at preventing pregnancies in mice with no apparent side effects. Rather than using hormones, the pill targets the interactions with vitamin A, which is a key component to fertility. So those of you who have low vitamin A counts, that is why. Get your vitamin A up. So this hormonal pill can carry the potential of weight gain, changes in libido, could cause low levels of good cholesterol, and cause potential heart issues. The research team has noted that mice who were giving the compound called GPHR 529 for 4 weeks showed a significant drop in semen
You mean no more facials?
No, rendering
No
them
more
no more
facials.
facials, rendering them sterile. When the treatment was stopped, the mice returned to normal levels of vigor within at least 4 to 6 weeks. All right.
And they still won't take it. They still not gonna take that shit. You
But
can't get
I
them motherfuckers
mean,
to buy rubbers.
yeah. I mean, okay. It's been crazy, but this part of the article I thought was interesting. Back in 2018, a pair of researchers said that they had found a way to halt the movement of sperm by using an extract from a plant that African warriors and hunters once used as a heart-stopping poison. Everything got to go back
So,
to the motherland.
yeah, stops your heart and stops your nuts.
Yeah, stops your heart, stops your nuts. When your nuts stop, your heart stops. Okay,
Yeah, life is over as we know it.
right. So hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah.
Hey,
So that's
Babs.
where we're at. Where we're at. You know, you talk about your woman being on the birth control pill and gaining weight and
Mm-hmm.
getting fat.
You're
Imagine
asking
your
you.
Negro being on the weight control pill, getting fat, and having mood swings and all kinds of crazy shit. But
Well, they won't have to worry because damn, we're almost sterile now.
I mean, yeah, you keep eating the shit you're eating.
Yeah, well, not only that, from the female birth control,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
they find estrogen in the water.
Right.
You know, it's in everything. So
That's true.
that's why we all got titties.
Speak for yourself.
Well, look,
some people do got some heavy.
we-
They got some heavy man boobs.
yeah, and you don't have to be heavy.
Oh. They need a bit of a support.
I know, seriously.
Lift them. You need good lifting. But yeah, so that's
No underwire.
no underwire. You don't want to get a cut underneath there. You want it to cuff it. Just push them up a
Yeah,
little.
lift and separate.
Lift and separate. Give you a little bit of action going on. All right. All right, moving right along to, of course, some politics. The White House tells Dr. Oz and Herschel Walker to resign from their fitness council. The TV doctor and former football star was appointed to sports and health by the Trump administration, who are both Republican Senate candidates. The White House has announced that 2 of Trump-appointed members to the President's Council of Sports and Fitness and Nutrition to resign from their post or be fired. On Wednesday, the White House sent a letter out asking the football star and Dr. Oz, 2 Republican candidates from Pennsylvania and Georgia, respectively, asked them to submit their resignation or get the damn boot. On behalf of President Biden, I'm writing you this request for your resignation as a member of the President's Council on Sports and Fitness. And let's see.
Give Herschel Walker a vasectomy.
Yeah. It says, please submit your resignation to me by the close of business today. And their terminations were effective.
Thank you. Your services are no longer needed.
6 p.m. that night.
Mm-hmm.
And word on the curve is that Dr. Oz, the famous old Oprah doctor that had, been made famous due to the Oprah Winfrey Show, was pissed and in his feelings.
Why is that? He didn't think he was going to stay, did he?
Yeah,
because he's planning on running in Pennsylvania.
He's planning on running in Pennsylvania. Right.
He's a Republican, correct?
He is. He is indeed.
Get the fuck out.
He is indeed.
Plain and simple.
They play that role of the Democrats have to be bipartisan, while Republicans can just keep it all Republican in the cabinet, unless you have what's his face.
Yeah, because what did they do when the clown was in office? They did the same thing.
So I don't see what the problem is, but yeah, people were definitely very much upset and in their feelings. So,
and Herschel Walker walking around here supposed to be talking about CRT. It called it TCR or something else. he is such a clown. And yes, I do mean a vasectomy for Herschel Walker because his clown ass son. Have you seen him on social media?
Oh my gosh.
That's simple.
That's simple. Self-hating
That
kind
is
of
definitely.
individual is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's definitely nut that should have been left on a napkin.
Or either swallowed, one of them.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Back into some health news. Johnson and Johnson. Why they always in some shit?
No, why do we always keep finding that shit?
I don't
It's
know.
all late. This is why we do the type of stuff that we do.
Yes.
Because you don't hear about it. I heard nothing about it. Nothing at all.
So Johnson and Johnson, you know, the lotion and stuff that y'all use for y'all
baby, the talcum powder.
The talcum powder that you wasn't supposed to put down in your poom poom that turned it, give you ovarian cancer. And the lotions that you use that sometimes you're not supposed to use. Well, it has come to our attention that Johnson & Johnson's regrets paying for studies that injected incarcerated Black men with, are you ready for this, ladies and gentlemen? Asbestos. Unsealed documents revealed by Johnson & Johnson paid for studies to inject 10 incarcerated Black men as part of the company's early talcum powder trials. This news report by the Bloomberg News, while the news is about 50 years old, the study itself isn't new. It first came to light decades ago when Johnson & Johnson involved in hundreds of experiments conducted by the University of Penn Dermatology Department and other decade present in Pennsylvania as well. Yeah, this is crazy. Please take a look at the article when you have a moment, but it basically blows the whistle out on a lot of this. It's not too intensive. It's really kind of short, but yeah. So
I'll drop the link in.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that? I'm sorry, I didn't even ask your thoughts on the other stuff, so you could go ahead.
No, I'm letting you breeze.
Yeah. Because we.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
Definitely not shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that's the right one. Okay, because I won't be sending no links to no porn.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, it.
But we've always talked about how the health racism, has many different heads in many areas, and the health department is one of them as well. So we can't not be surprised by stuff like this. I mean, we talk about the Tuskegee experiment, and so on and so forth. And this again is no surprise that we've always been used as the guinea pigs for research,
especially people incarcerated.
Right, and especially that.
And it doesn't matter whether you have a life sentence
the
or
legal form of slavery.
Yeah, whether or not you have a life sentence or a maybe a misdemeanor, but as long as they keep you in jail, it's free market. You can pretty much use them as for anything that you want to do, and you we need to really keep on top of that. And believe when people in there saying, this is what they're actually doing.
This is what they're doing, right? Yeah, and not just count it as, they just talking. These things are actually happening
because things like that are actually going on.
Yeah, they are going on.
It sounds far fetched, but it sounds far fetched, but it's not.
Yeah, while we're sitting here, talking about other things, that the whole world going out here and shit's hitting the fan. All right, in some political news, of course, President Biden has proposed more money for policing in 2023. In his new budget plan to increase spending would surge the resources for federal prosecutors and state and local law enforcement. defund the police, a movement that it was hotly contested topic even since the inception and the murder of George Floyd back in 2020. The slogan had pointed taking money out of the police budget and military equipment to invest more in community based social services. The Biden administration has tried to, push forth this program to where in which they support the police, but trying to support, I don't know, I don't want to even say defunding, but trying to support this like defund the police light type of situation. But did I really think that he was going to be a champion of defunding the police? Absolutely not. He's an old white man.
Mm-mm.
Again,
Remember,
we
he
are
was
not.
just a replacement
That's
for
that's
what
it.
we had.
That's it.
That's
It
all.
was like
And I was
Trump
not
light.
expecting much.
Right. It was like Trump light. I don't know what people expected. You expected Obama or something similar? No. And the only reason why he was Obama's ticket, again, to make white people feel more comfortable in voting for a black person, because you got this old white man that ain't gonna let him, he ain't gonna let him do but too much, or he gonna check him. At least this is what they thought. He would check him and bring him to where in which he wouldn't do, how could I put this more plainly? He wouldn't do everything in his power for what they thought he was going to do for us and leave them out in the cold. So again, that's all this person is here for. It was, stop the bleeding, but a lighter version of what Trump was going on. Okay, so that's all this is here.
Yeah, now if he was talking about allocating funds for, professional psychiatrists,
Right.
social workers and things like that, have no problem with it.
Yeah,
But
right.
as we see, they give you a couple of murals on the street,
That's
and
it.
they go right back to business.
They give you some, they give your family some money that the victims of these heinous crimes wind up having to pay anyway. And, then we're all supposed to be happy for the family and go on about our business. While yet they still, give them military weaponry, give them spy capabilities. These people have drones now. They're flying drones.
Yeah, it should have been, the slogan should have been demilitarize the police.
Right. The police, yeah.
Because they shouldn't be geared up like a tactical force.
No, for what? For what? I mean, you act like you're dealing with. You act like you're going into a war situation with your own.
Well,
city.
yeah, they will be. They will be. Eventually, they will.
Eventually, they will be. Yeah, eventually it'll be like the Hunger Games, where they're just coming and if you're disorderly, they'll wipe you out. But at this point, I just think it's really, it does not help a situation, especially furthermore when you have scared police. When you have police
that are shooting at everything.
With the amount of weaponry that they have that can.
It's like giving a child,
but
like giving a child a gun.
Yeah,
right. You're
like
giving a child a gun.
Kyle Rittenhouse a gun again. Shoot up the place. Thank you so much for your service. Bunch of bullshit. But yeah, again, not surprised with the bullshit, but it is what it is. But this is why local voting counts. Because to be very honest with you, if you had local cities and states actually really looking for reforming police brutality in the police department, there would be a change in the policing system. But because you have a lot of local governments that are just as Republican and just as I don't even want to say pro-police, but just pro that extra authoritative, everything is about safety, everything's about safety, let alone the people are dying from minor infractions, which makes no sense. But of course, because it ain't them, it doesn't matter, which is ridiculous to me. Let me see if I had another health one on here before I proceed, because I know a lot of this stuff I think is more political in nature.
The study link of C-19 infection increase risk of diabetes.
Oh
Did I
yeah,
send you that one?
You did send me that one. I thought I knew there was one I was missing, but yeah, that was the one. All right, so there was a study, and excuse me while I pull it up from my phone because I thought I had put it out here on the thing.
Good evening, Pink. Good evening, Virginia Redbone. Where you been at?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. So there was.
Patty. We didn't get a chance to do that.
Oh yeah, of
We were
course.
running in this motherfucker tonight. Weren't we?
Running, running. Okay. And don't hold it to me. You can blame my employer, sons of bitches. But it's okay.
Hi,
It's
sons of bitches.
okay. Right. That's just how I feel about it right now. But anyway, let me pull it up. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? All right. So yes, studies linked to the C word, of course, with infections increasing the risk of the sugars, otherwise known as diabetes. Uh, Over a year after recovering from that one, of course, somebody had discovered that their sugar levels were extremely high. Studies have shown that in these past 2 years of the pandemic, can you believe it's been 2 years already? Jesus Christ, how time flies.
I mean, 2 years, it's 3 years.
Well, yeah,
It's
they're talking about
going into the third. Yeah, it
yeah,
still feels like forever.
yeah,
That-
it does.
That's coming after 4 years. Okay, 7 years. God damn.
Right into the pandemic, scientists and physicians were shifting their attention to long-term consequences of the C word infection, and those long-term consequences started to look like diabetes at higher risk for several infected individuals. The new connection was unveiled, which the C word may lead to higher risk of diabetes in many people. Let's see. They did a study in Germany and found that 28% of the people who were newly diagnosed, were more likely to have type 2 compared to people who had never been infected. A study in the United States found similar increases in diabetes with people recovering from the C word at a 40% risk in at least a year after being infected. So, yeah. I mean, not only do Americans have poor eating habits because of course, a lot of us like to eat the bullshit. Uh, Now, trying to stop you or aid you uh, from catching Miss Rona, you might walk around with a little testing
Oh,
your sugar now.
it's more than that. They've also said that if you've had it, and even
Right.
people who have had mild cases,
Cases, yeah.
you have had some brain damage.
Hmm.
That's why people, the long haulers, they've noticed it in them, but they went and tested the ones that had very mild cases, and they were saying there was also it ages your brain
Hmm.
to the equivalent of 1 year.
Mm.
Some people just have a little fog. They just don't fit. Who are you laughing at?
I'm laughing thinking about the amount of people on YouTube
No, no, those motherfuckers was like that
already have brain
beforehand.
delays.
Oh no. You can't put that on that. That shit came out like their shit
No, I'm
came
saying
out
they
like
have
that.
extensive brain delays. It's like they've already
Oh
had
no,
brain
some of them got a
delays.
lot of. Oh no. They,
It's just
I
adding
tell you,
on.
these motherfuckers came here like that.
Yeah, they came out. Right.
But in all seriousness, there's the likelihood of brain damage,
Yeah,
and that's even in the slightest cases.
that is so crazy. But yes, so again, check that article out to people. This, granted, how you protect yourself is how you protect yourself, and more power to whatever way you choose to protect yourself. But know that there are things out here that we need to be knowledgeable about. We need to do our research, understand, and know that, we need to make sure we keeping our bodies right, regardless
Yeah,
of what.
don't listen to them. Don't listen
Right?
to.
Yeah. Please
So
don't
wear
listen
your mask and continue to. Don't be out here getting those strange.
At least try not to. Jesus
Mhm.
Christ. Let's see where we're at now. I think was that it? Oh yeah, I did have it. Look at that. God, it's the devil playing tricks. All right, so going back to some more politics. Jenny Thomas. She's been all over the news.
Who's that? Karen Thomas? No,
Yeah,
Jenny.
that is Karen Thomas.
Mm.
The wife of Justice Clarence Thomas has exchanged text messages with Mark Meadows. Mark Meadows was the White House chief of staff at the time during the clown Trump administration. He is now the what is he? The second in command as far as the House is concerned.
Mhm.
Um, but she was sending texts to Mark Meadows in regards to overturning the election, and they particularly want to talk to her because this uh, jar of unseasoned mayonnaise didn't even know how to code her texting to protect
Old people and
herself.
technology. Thank God they don't know.
Oh my God! Like she really was like, "We need to steal this. We need to do everything you can to stop this. This is ridiculous. It doesn't matter. We need to take America back." I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but pretty much she was really just like, "Fuck this shit. Let's take it. Let's take it over." I'm just like, really? Wow.
Yeah, but you
Really?
know what? That's
Wow.
perfectly fine, except for the fact of who she's married to.
Right. Right. Now that's where it gets a little sticky and a little icy. And I know I said earlier that I discovered some things about Clarence Thomas that I, kind of sort of thought, but it was like, wow, really? Wow, wow. So, in light of this whole situation, many people who are been historians and following a lot of the Supreme Court justices, one in particular who's been following Clarence Thomas since his inception onto the Supreme Court stage, uh, was like digging out all this stuff of his like thoughts and articles that he written, and he really thinks it's unconstitutional to had integrated lunch counters. I said, the fuck? What are we, really, sir? Like, really? Wow. Among
You
other
shocked?
things,
Mm-mm.
I mean, yes and no, because I think a part of you even coming out on the tail end of the civil rights movement, I would think a part of you would have experienced that would have a different outlook on what you thought was constitutional and what you thought was unconstitutional. So it really surprised me that you
When he
have
looks in that mirror, he has gray
right,
hair, but he had blonde hair and blue eyes.
but this is what I'm saying. Like that surprised me. That you hear it a lot that people think that when they look
No.
in the mirror that they don't see
Mm-mm.
themselves, that they see some reflection of themselves they wish to be, but to actually know that a person really embodies that form of fiction, that Toni Morrison, one of my favorite authors, the bluest eye kind of concept is really like, wow, that's some
Mm-hmm.
crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so
He should have went to
basically,
his doctor and got that little pill to lighten that skin. That's what he should have done.
should have been over there in Jamaica and shit, just putting in
Hmm
the bleach.
Now that should turn your skin yellow. They all yellow. It's just
I,
strange
they
looking.
do look weird looking,
Hmm
but
It's
um,
not even like
it's not natural.
albinism. It's not
Yeah, it's not
albinism. It has a
natural.
yellow tinge to it.
It really looks crazy. And then when your knees and your wrists or
Yeah,
certain
yeah,
parts of
not
your knuckles
where
or
your
certain
joints
parts
at.
you can't really.
Can you imagine that? Because your genitalia is darker than the rest of your skin, right? Can you imagine
But I
that
think
coloring?
maybe they bleached that too.
Oh, you would burn that shit up. Oh
Like,
no,
looking like mm,
a hot ass mess. That's what that shit'll look
crazy,
like.
looking like
But they
Michael.
think they look good.
Yeah, well, more power to him. But
Uh,
anyway,
God
um,
bless you.
yeah, yeah. So the January 6th committee is looking to have a little talk with Miss Ginny Thompson. Ginny Thomas. They're asking for Clarence Thomas to recuse himself from the January 6th, anything to deal with January 6th, due to his wife's involvement. He claims not to know anything about his wife's involvement, which I call personally bullshit, because there is no way, as much as you hate the Democratic kind of anything, I really can't see you not knowing that your wife was sitting up there orchestrating all this or
Oh,
playing a
he knows, and
yeah,
they've discussed it because you can
yeah.
look at his rulings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is what has brought all that. When they found out that she was involved and that she was texting
Hmm.
key players in the White House, telling, "Hey, you got to get the president to push on this," and da 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 da. So all that's coming out, and the fact that she, texts like a little kid and basically told on herself. All of his rulings and his ideologies and his writings are coming out, and basically you know he
Yeah,
ain't for us.
yeah. Now remember when he ruled against Trump releasing that information, those texts were in that
That you're right, right. Well,
the
that's what they
text.
were trying. Well, that's what they were trying to. That's what they're saying, that he needs to recuse himself
Oh
because
no,
he was,
he needs to be impeached.
yeah,
It's
he
time
was
for him to
saying that
go.
he did not know that his wife's texts were involved in.
Yes, he did.
What? Yeah,
He knew.
of
He
course
knew
he knew. Of course he did.
that Negro knew.
Yes, but
Uncle Ruckus looking mother. Anyway,
and not even recently, a federal judge has slapped Trump, because I know we didn't. I didn't grab this article, but has slapped Trump with not a not nothing criminal. Basically, it was just an injunction to let him know that from what he's witnessed, that they were planning to overthrow the government, and basically shame on you. But call me and wake me up when they really put some heat to this man, and not just, well, it's improper for him to do this and that and the other, which I think is ridiculous. Um, have a sexual wellness. Moving right along. Okay, so conservative groups find teachers are renaming the critical race theory as a social emotional learning. School administrators in the anti critical race theory states have found a way to teach the same subjects but under a different name to avoid conflict. The conservative groups have found teachers in the anti critical race theory states that have been working around the law to rename their curriculum. Reported by News Weekly, the investigations by Accurate Media, school administrators from Ohio, Tennessee had admitted to rebranding the lessons so that they could teach the same subjects. What is your thoughts on that? I mean, I think it's good. I
no,
think
it's one of those. It's one of those things when you hear about what they're doing, and you get all worked up, and the solution is right in front of your faces, and it's so simple.
right,
It's
right,
one of those
yeah,
types of things.
yeah,
You know, just change the name of it.
yeah.
Very
That's
very
it.
simple there.
That's it. That's it. But I think at the end of the day, the truth needs to be told.
Hmm.
And all of it. Not just the shiny parts where it glorifies these.
Well, as long as our kids know,
Right, but
our
but that's
kids
the
need.
thing. But that's the thing. Our kids need to know, because if they don't, they will repeat it in some form or fashion. Because once you don't know about it, it's like, oh, did that even exist? It's like talking about the dinosaurs now. People are like, we really had dinosaurs. Unless you go to the museum and see these monstrosities of big beasts, you would think. that they was just making that shit up, and that was just Land Before Time cartoon or some shit. But these things really did, people really did exist. These things really did happen, and when we kind of step away from talking about these things.
Yes, Patty, that's
It's
right. It's
really a
not
problem.
being taught.
And right, and
But
that's the huge. That's the excuse me, getting tongue tied. That is the most um, largest issue that I have a problem with. It's not taught through K through 12, so
it's not
it's
even
a
taught.
graduate. It's a
It's a
graduate
graduate.
professional class teaching. So to get caught
So
up,
unless they were going to be lawyers.
right, pretty much. But I really think the kind of axe to all of this for them is just that it exposes a lot of the criminality that people have done. So I'm just not the landing strip. See, don't start.
See, landing strip, boy.
I've been doing Texas all night. I just find that to be problematic. Like the people don't want to hear about the stuff that they've done. They'd rather just talk about stuff
Yeah,
like it doesn't exist.
They don't want to teach history, the correct history, so they're giving it the name of CRT, making it the boogeyman. So that
Right, so
it gives them a talking point.
So the kids
when they come
know
up
about Tulsa and Rosewood and many of the other.
They're gonna know because it's everywhere.
You're perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine. It is everywhere, but if you continue to push forth this, as many of the Republican states are doing, pushing forth wiping away the curriculum, the books, the access to actually learning the truth, then you are chipping away at what is taught. So I don't know. I just think it's really
yeah. You're not gonna answer that sexual awareness question.
If I feel like it. Right now I don't feel like it. Because it ain't even about that. You tried it though. So moving right along, Black candidates more likely to be dismissed from the Maryland National Guard. About 40% of Black candidates were dismissed from the Maryland Army of National Guard Officers Candidate School. Black people and women were found. See, I hate when they do that. Sorry, but I do.
What, Black people and women?
Yeah, because they talking about white women. But okay, nonetheless.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
So Black people were found to be more likely to be dismissed from the Maryland National Guard Officers Candidate School, according to new data from that was obtained by Congress, which was obtained by military.com, which is a military news outlet. A few Democratic legislators have requested an investigation into the potential bias in the Maryland National Guard. It's not just Maryland, people, wake up. The data had found that nearly 40% of Black candidates were dismissed from the Maryland National Guard's Officers Candidate School between 2017 and 2021. Out of white students, only 21% were dismissed. About 40% of women students were dismissed in comparison to the 23% of men.
Well, why should we be surprised? It's in line with everything else.
Right. This is what I'm saying. Like, I bring this stuff so we can be aware, not to be surprised. Like, oh, I didn't know that happened. I didn't know this happened. I talked about this a while ago about the Air Force pilot who was dealing with so much discrimination in being the top pilot. It's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? We've been dealing with this since World War I, World War II. You sit up here fighting for a country that you come home and you can't even enjoy it. You can't even.
Now you can go over there and die.
Right.
Now, they're not sending their children.
Right. Of course not. So, I shout out to the person who exposed Maryland, but Maryland's not the only state, I'm sure,
Oh
that
no,
has
no, 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 no.
done this to black
Because
officers.
you can be the grunt, you could be cannon fodder,
Right,
but they don't want you. You know,
right, right, right,
they don't want you running things,
right. Of course not. Of course not.
which
All
is
right.
something we need to think about. You know, with this
Yeah,
conflict going on overseas,
exactly.
and they're sending troops over, and
Exactly.
those white boys over in Washington D.C. will not be sending their children.
No, they won't, but they'll send yours in a heartbeat
Mm-hmm.
and tell you that you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah, be a good patriot.
yeah, you're doing the country a
No, like
great
I said,
service.
that's white people shit.
Right.
The only
Let
reason why
them,
we're concerned about it is because there's some black people over there.
let them have it. What
Mm-hmm.
else I wanted to say real quick? Yeah. So, in other news, real quick, states are planning tax rebate checks to counter inflation. Roughly a dozen states have proposed sending tax rebate checks to their residents to offset the highest inflation in 4 decades. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are pointing out high gas prices, high food prices, and prompting.
But what they propose ain't enough. It ain't enough.
Right.
They
So,
better send some more of those. What is it?
yeah,
Stimulus checks. They
similar stuff.
better send some more of those while
Right,
they're
right.
sending it all overseas.
Yeah. Of course. And of course, this rings true because Governor Kemp of Georgia is running up for reelection. So he has been the first one to put his state on notice as the Republican who on Wednesday signed a law to send checks up to $500 to state residents.
But what does $500 do?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's how you know these people are totally
Oblivious to real.
not in
Yeah,
touch with people out
yeah,
here in the real world going through.
very true.
$500 doesn't do anything.
Very,
You still
very
have people trying to come through a pandemic. This is still going on. You still
very
have people that are being evicted
right.
from their homes.
That is very true. Um, so crazy,
I
totally
hate
crazy.
him too.
You say, oh yeah, I can't stand him. So don't even worry about it. I'm not even mad with you. I can't stand him. He stole the election from
Election. Uh-huh.
CCNetworkTV, and he knows it. And
Oh
that
yeah, he knows it.
he knows it. So lastly, before we really get into some stuff, because there's some stuff to get into, gun permits are no longer required to carry a weapon in Indiana starting July 1st. A
Hmm.
bill has pushed through the GOP led legislator, and the Republican governor will sign it into law this week. Now, what does that mean for a lot of us?
We going to Patty's house.
Right.
He gave him. He said he'll give me 5,000.
It's, this is
We
crazy.
we ain't get it.
So, yeah, just this is really
Yeah. Now
becoming something crazy. Uh,
you're actually creating a war zone here. You loosen restrictions on guns,
right.
and
Well, for some, no,
for
and that's the part where it brings a problem for me. You're not. This is not a. You're releasing the restrictions on guns for all. You're just releasing the gun restrictions for some. Because as we've seen time and time again, those of us who are licensed, who happen to be black,
hmm
do not get that same respect and
true.
courtesy of being
Yeah, because
licensed.
you might get shot.
You
Your
might,
guns in the trunk. You
might
stop by the police officer. You show him your license, and you tell him that yes, you
that
do
I'm
have a weapon.
carrying, right? That I'm carrying. So now you're saying that they don't even have to have a license to carry. That's okay. You know how many vigilantes? What's them honkies that just went to jail for Ahmaud Arbery's killing? You know how many more of those will be?
Oh, yeah, it's a whole bunch.
Mm.
A whole bunch. Yeah, you ain't got to worry about me going evil.
I-
Because I'm telling you, it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot.
Just crazy. For what? For some protests, for some people actually losing their lives, or for some senseless gun violence? And on whatever spectrum, because it offends you, because you feel like they shouldn't. I mean, it's ridiculous to me. I really find it. I can't even comprehend. I really cannot.
It just makes no sense. You're giving police more weaponry,
Right.
bigger budget. Then
Right.
you're giving citizens. You don't have to have license. You don't have to
Right.
have any. You don't even have to have any
Nothing.
type
No
of training.
documentation
But you
whatsoever.
can buy a weapon. So you're actually arming both sides.
Right. Right. Well, and not even that,
But-
because I'm pretty sure that you'll say that for them, that they don't have to. But I bet you do a background check on Tyrone. I bet you do. How much you want to bet you're not just gonna give it to them? I can guarantee that they're not gonna just give it to us.
Mm-hmm. No, that's what we got them anyway.
Yeah, but
some unfortunately, and there are a lot of us that
but I
don't need
mean,
them.
and
Either.
again, but even still, even with us having them in our neighborhoods and areas, how did we get them?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody.
Pookie.
Right.
Pookie.
But it's just altogether, it's just really, really, really crazy.
And if you're a gun owner, be a responsible gun owner, and secure your weapons. Earlier this week, up in Philadelphia, I believe there was two teenagers that died because the kids were in the bathroom playing with loaded gun.
Yes.
And the 12-year-old shot her cousin in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to see it, it's over on World Star Hip Hop, because they were streaming on Instagram.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they were stunting on Instagram, and they were streaming on Instagram.
Oh my God.
And remember last week we were talking about the modified weapons?
Right.
They had a modified barrel on the bottom of a hand revolver. And she had her hand on the trigger, and it was a lightweight fly trigger, and she pressed it, and it popped. He didn't know what was happening. He falls down. It scared her, and she dropped the gun. But I guess while she was down there, she realized that she shot and killed him, and then she killed herself. And she was 12.
Oh, wow.
Her mother had sent her over. Evidently, was a relative's house. They were just getting together, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But
it's just,
you wouldn't think that there were as many people in the house that there was until after they were downstairs. And these kids were upstairs, and
so sad.
It goes. I'm sure Instagram had probably cut it.
Right.
But they were people in the house were running around the house trying to figure out where the shot was.
Right.
And people would come in, and this room was really small, so of course when they fell on the ground, they blocked the door. It was hard for them to get in.
Right.
But secure your weapons.
Please.
Because you don't want these things going on, and this is going to go up.
Right. Yeah.
As we get more, you just can't tell a kid not to touch it.
Right.
That type of thing. You need to secure it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I am a gun owner. I do not have them here because I have grandkids that come over, and it's just not, it's just not worth it. Yeah, but don't think you can roll up to my house now.
Right. Just
because I'll tell you, wait right there.
I'll be right back.
That was just horrible.
Yeah, that is.
It's horrible. And I can tell I need to stop watching that kind of shit, because it was just it's just like watching everyday stuff on there, where it used to bother me, it doesn't bother me anymore.
That becomes the problem too.
That's scary. That's scary.
Yeah. But definitely prayers to the family. Hey, what's up, Lynn T?
Hey,
Lynn,
girl, how you doing?
getting them summer clothes ready.
Mhm.
The more
Yeah, because we ain't
lightweight,
gonna be doing that. We're gonna be inside anyway.
the more lightweight.
And poor. You know what happens when you
Oh
poor and
boy,
you're in the house? All you do is fuck all day long.
that's
That's all
it.
you doing.
That's it.
Hey,
Make
Miss Catherine
babies.
Powell, how are you doing?
Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. If you haven't, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me, please, and thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And if you haven't subscribed, please do.
yes, of course, of course, of course, and of course, you are here in Politics and Wellness, where we talk about politics and wellness and a little bit of mess.
Oh,
And
let's see. Birth control. We did. Okay. Yeah,
oh,
Biden. We did.
we did everything on my list over here.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Did is it 100,000 Ukrainians are slated to come here?
Yeah, that's what I thought I put that up there too. It's probably
Mm.
somewhere up here, but I don't see it.
No, like you said,
But
the thumbnails disappear,
yeah, but
and
yeah,
it's not even a week.
right. So right, I know they be chopping that stuff up real quick. But real quick, 100,000 Ukrainians are slated to come to the United States, as you know, the refugee crisis in Ukraine with the war on, I don't know, I guess Russia's war on Ukraine to take it back, like a
Mhm. Well,
ex-boyfriend.
yeah, but they're coming at a good time because it is summertime.
Right,
They can work down at the beach like they do at Ocean City all the time.
right,
One year was nothing but Ukrainians down there. The
right,
kids come over and work. It's usually Hispanic people, but I don't know what happened.
right. So, yeah, I don't know, but I guess listen. Yeah, that's all I can say. Yeah, I mean, they come, they come.
Mhm. I hope they're testing them before they come
Yeah,
here.
yeah, that part. And
Because
I'm
I
glad
told
because
you
I
all
don't
you
even
got
know
millions of
you.
people moving from
Yeah,
one country to the next. They're moving through these other
right.
countries, and they could be bringing
Yeah,
over a totally
super
different
duper
strain.
variant. Right, right. So hopefully these people are being tested before they get over here. Granted, you know,
They're going to probably try to keep them here because that boosts the Caucasian base.
of
They're afraid those numbers going down. They're going to hurry up
of
and
course, they got her
make them
right. Make them
citizens.
citizens. Right. Saying, well, since you left your homeland in crisis, we're going to give you all visas that turn into actual citizenships after a certain amount of years. But yeah,
Hmm.
whoop de doo. I wish, in all seriousness, the thing over there gets settled and handled, and
Well, have you heard the new allegations that are coming out about a lot of the refugees, the African refugees, um,
no, sir.
going into these as they're crossing the borders, going into these camps, these
Right.
long-term internment camps,
Internment camps, yeah.
and they're taking their phones and they're, you know, some of them have
Videotaping
been
their
in there for
treatment.
months.
Yeah, videotaping their treatment and what's going on. Yeah, I do read
Hmm.
that briefly. Yeah, so trust that we are not being treated globally well.
No.
So,
So when they really get to fighting over there
right.
and acting a fool, let the white boys go over there.
Yeah, that's it.
You know.
That's it. That's all. I- like we talked about last week with the two, I was going to say British African women
Oh,
who
women
set
that are
up
over
the
there. Yes.
GoFundMe
Hmm.
to help get a lot of the African students and people who were employed in Ukraine back in, back to the UK or other places in Europe for safety. They have raised over $200,000, and I think that's what we
Yes,
need to
definitely
be doing.
commended.
We need to definitely keep our eye on what's happening with our people. You look like
Hmm.
us. Granted,
Yeah.
we deal with a lot of infighting, even with that whole diaspora of being African, not African, all that. A lot of times, all that stuff needs to. There's a larger picture here, and the
Hmm.
picture is, we are we only got us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's like the more we sit here and fight amongst ourselves, uh, the more they win. And
Yeah.
even in situations like this, where these people are stuck there and they can't get home, but they are willing to ship uh, actual Ukrainians to safety and leave students there to do what? It's just ridiculous. So
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely.
Actually, Catherine, they will probably try to send them to family here first, or wherever family's located in the United States, and then most likely the larger cities,
Hmm.
New York. They're
Yeah.
not going to be in the
I
small
mean,
towns
they
or
may
anything.
send them. They may send some to small towns, but as a temporary
Hmm.
spot, if places get if
Yeah,
the
but they
city
definitely
gets
want to
too
place them
crowded.
with families first,
Yeah,
with their family if they have relatives or whatever,
yeah.
because that would help them to integrate
And they might
a
wonder
lot
if
easier.
those families will get an extra kind
Oh
of
yes, probably so.
substance,
Hmm.
government subsidy,
Be more than $500.
right, for taking in their own family members.
Hmm.
That'll be interesting. See if they get some welfare. Send them to
He say
Florida.
send them to Florida. Oh, you know what? He'd have a fucking stroke.
Oh my gosh,
Hmm.
he's on a rampage. Actually, speaking of Florida, this week, Ron was it yesterday? Ron
Yes,
DeSantis just signed the
sign that bill.
"Say No to Gay" bill.
Hmm.
So they are pushing. And again, as much as we talk about it's a gay agenda, it's a gay agenda, it's a gay agenda, it's an anti everything that they feel uncomfortable talking about agenda,
Hmm.
and it's definitely happening. So
Lindsay said, "What Texas?" Hey, Pastor Nate, how you doing?
right, what's going on, Pastor Nate? But yeah, it's happening. The more we sit and lollygag and not think that these things are moving, they are moving fast, faster than we can even get a grip on.
Hmm.
And nobody's batting an eyelash because we're more concerned about other things.
Yeah, of course. That
Ridiculous.
and the fact that they're trying to walk over the weekend. He said this quiet part out loud talking about Putin when he said that they need to get rid of him. He needs to be gotten
Oh,
rid of.
they tried to walk that back. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, of course, well, he wasn't the first one. Lady G was first.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He
Lady
came right
G
out the
came right
gate.
out the gate and said it, and then all of a sudden, I guess there was some rumbles that his voting uh, base didn't necessarily like that kind of talk because Trump, of course, was talking the opposite. So then
Of
he
course.
he stopped talking about that. But then recently, Biden said in the G7 summit, the last
Hmm.
time they met for this recent visit to talk about Ukraine, that he needs to be outed.
Yeah.
And yeah, they quickly tried to hurry up and change the tune on that because I guess Russia said, "Oh, you trying to get rid of me? I'm going to press the button," and it was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, no, fuck that shit." So yeah, the administration has tried to cut back on this talk of getting Putin out of here to kind of find a resolution. But I mean, what other resolution way could you?
Yeah. He's not gonna be able to move around the
He's
world anywhere.
not going right, and he's
He's
not going to
always
give up power at this point.
yeah. He's gonna
Why
be.
would
He's
he?
gonna be like Jung Kim
Yeah, right. It's
in
like why
Korea.
would he at this point? He's done. He's put his foot out there. He has
And
no
not only
choice.
that, he's not going to stop. He's not
Does
going to
not
stop
have,
with his movement.
he has
Hmm.
no choice at this point. You don't. You've opened up the floodgates. You can't stop
Hmm.
now and go. Oh, you know what? I've reconsidered. Let me walk it back. No, because one, you're going to look as weak, and nobody's going to respect you. So at this point, you have to go hard or go home, and he's not going home. And that's what I don't understand. That the rest of the world does not get. You're worried about infringing on a treaty of, well, as long as you don't touch no NATO countries, whatever you do, we don't like it, but it's okay. Okay, once he takes them over, he's gonna come for a NATO country.
Oh yeah, and it'd probably be Poland first.
But this is what I'm saying. He's taking a, a, a page out of Hitler's book, like Mankind. Oh yeah, this I'm gonna follow this line by line, and I'm gonna do it this way to make sure I'm actually gaining um, the power that Hitler was trying to, and it's working. I mean, he's used Christianity on these
Mm-hmm.
folks and these evangelicals that will sit here and demean someone's sexuality or whatever the case may be, but yet you're okay with murdering people because they disagree with your line of thinking. I just don't.
Yeah.
It just don't add up for me. But them Christian people love it. Good old
Mm-hmm.
Christian folks.
Oh, and that reminds me. Um, uh, if you'll notice on with your computers, you'll be getting a lot of updates on
Mm-hmm.
your for your browsers and everything. It's because
Shit.
what's that?
No, I say because they hacking the shit. But no, go ahead.
Yes, yes, because
Oh
that's
yeah.
exactly what you're saying.
Oh
Because they're expecting a cyber attacks.
yeah.
So
Apple has
um,
already been hacked, and Apple has never. Apple's like the Fort Knox of
shit,
cybersecurity.
they don't want to give y'all access. Shit, you own
Right,
this stuff.
right. But Apple has been hacked. So
Hmm.
trust and believe.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
are.
go
If they
ahead.
can't win physically, they will win cyberly. They will try.
Hmm.
They will.
That's right, because
War is war at this point.
the attacks will be up. So make sure you keep your browsers up to date. Don't answer
Right,
any emails that you're
right,
unfamiliar with. Stay off porn sites that you're not comfortable with.
right. And all
And
serious note that please, and this is something I know personally, if in fact you are receiving letters from your banking institution about rate increases,
mhm,
anything of that nature, call your bank
call your
first.
bank. Or
Please
or
do
if you
not.
can't if they're saying that you cannot access your account, that you need to
Right,
contact them.
right. Anything saying you can't access your account or, we need to discuss your account with you or anything regarding your account, period. Call your banking institution first before you proceed with giving anybody any information. Please do that. Note that they are out here and they are out here hard. They are stealing uh, documentation paperhead and mailing it out to folks, having folks sign up
Mhm.
for all types of shit, giving away all types of information. So please, please, please make sure any kind of banking information that you get, you do not immediately, go to the website because they are cloning websites. Um, and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So please make sure that you are vigilant and calling your banking institutions to ensure that they have sent you the information and that it is legitimate before you go signing on the dotted line or agreeing to a rate, interest rate decrease or whatever it is that may fit your fancy. But please, please, please make sure you do that
Mhm.
because I'm so tired of that shit. I'm just like, give me
Yeah, because I have an email from Equifax
you
that
call.
I from a that I had because some information
Mm-hmm.
had gotten
Right.
out
Right.
from the city, and but my time was up. They'll only
Yeah.
do it for like 4 or 5 years,
Right.
but it ended last year. But then I received an email saying that the class action suit was extended or some crap like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, should I, shouldn't I, whatever, that type of thing. I was like,
Right.
I'm really on the fence with that. It's like, you know what, I don't trust any of
Yeah. I don't
you.
just
Any
none
of
of
you.
you motherfuckers.
Uh,
All right.
you get up there and get all my passwords.
Good.
Or you can pay my bills.
Right. Exactly. If you're gonna do some shit, pay a bill, bitch.
Yes. So make sure your browsers are up to date.
Yes.
Don't put off if you have updates to do on your computer and things like that. They'll be pushed and they'll constantly remind you. But like me, I usually disable them because I want to be able to see what's going in. Uh, the updates going in. Uh, I don't want them to do it by themselves.
Right. All right. So with that, let's get into.
Hey, we didn't get our intro this week. You had that new intro because we were
Well,
because you were running in.
yeah, everything was. That's my just in between, but I'm working on that because
Oh, okay.
that was a whole nother thing I'm about. I'm so over it. So over it. So real quick before we even get into that, I because the other mic that it came with was of course extremely low. So I wound up
Hmm.
using my other mic, but then my other mic has a USB and I was trying to find a mother USB port that I could plug into the back of the
Would
soundboard.
would you need extra ports?
No, it doesn't have a they keep sending me Audible plugs
Oh, instead of the
instead of
USB.
but well the USB part, but the plug-in part, the mic part that would go into the mic port
Hmm.
is an Audible.
It's
So it
audible port.
doesn't
Hmm.
right. It doesn't. It's not big enough. So it's just like, goddamn, do you not have? And I'm typing in everything, and I'm just like, you know what? This is it. I went to Best Buy yesterday. Huge fail. I'm like, the fuck is going on?
What?
Fire everybody.
They,
Fire everybody.
they
It's
either they
not the
either
right
don't
way.
have it or they don't know.
They don't know. Right.
The
This is like,
majority of the
they
time
don't
they
know.
don't know.
Yeah, it's like, but you don't know. Just say you don't know. I'm okay with that, but I'm really not
Hmm.
in it. I used to work there, so I knew exactly where to go. I knew, and when I didn't see it, I'm like, they don't have it. So when I
Yeah.
asked somebody just to make sure, they're like, oh, well, what? And they're showing me this. I'm like, that's an audio cord. I already have that. I don't need an audio. Oh, I'm like, you know what? I'm just, I believe.
And you just need to plug into another USB, correct?
No, I need to plug into. So I have the port for the USB that would
Okay.
go, but I need either the adapter that would plug in from the Audible to the mic, so I can plug the mic portion in.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but no, no. I mean, I'm Amazon and I'm everything. So yeah, this thing about to go back if I can't find nothing, because I'll just be like, I'll buy something else and then just work from that. Because yeah, I'm,
Hmm.
that's how frustrated I was with the whole damn thing. Okay, I
When you
felt
do,
like it was
you know what? When you do your search by image,
okay.
because that they'll what it will do is it will blanket. It will show you everything, and then you can
Mhm.
physically look at what it is you need.
Okay.
That's a lot easier than saying, you're just looking at the specs, trying to read the specs. I always search by image because I can
Okay.
see something close to it. Um,
Right, because that's what they keep sending me. But every point outlet is an Audible outlet, and I'm just like, that's not what I
what you need.
need.
Because
Like,
there's so many different types.
yeah, and then
Um,
the ones when I put in the mic,
and
they
it's
give
and,
me the
and it's
big one.
probably you're probably the only person on the East Coast that wants one.
Yeah,
and, that's-
right.
and
That too. But everybody has the big, like the almost like the musical plugs, like the mic, the
the
real
real
big
big,
mic plug.
real big
So
ones.
when I was getting those, I'm always like, yo, like listen, I have so much stuff to return to Amazon, it's not even funny. Uh and this is like in the span of 3 days. Because I was just like, can you now? I need it now. So everything's it'll be here by 5. And I open it like this is some bullshit. I can't use this. So some stuff I'm
Yeah,
probably gonna keep
search by image.
yeah, well, it's just crazy. I'm over
And
it.
would you do the Google search, because it'll give you a wider you'll cast a wider net.
Okay.
And then once you see it, then you can go back to Amazon, and you'll have a general idea of
General
what it's
idea of what
called,
it is
because a
called.
lot of times it's the
It's the
language,
wording. Yeah,
and what it is.
I get it. All right, so
You
let's
say
go.
Radio Shack? Yeah, Radio Shack used to be
Radio
nice.
Shack used to be it. I think we still have one.
Oh, y'all do?
No, no more. I
It's
forgot they
probably
turned
called
that into a
Freddy's now.
no, they turned it into a T-Mobile store. But we did have it was hanging on for the longest time. I think it just left. Our
Wow, I
yeah,
didn't think it was
yeah.
any. I hadn't seen one in about 15
It had
years.
just left our mall. I think maybe 2 years it's been gone.
Mm.
A year or two, something like that. It had just left, but it had just left. All right, so let's get into all this.
Hey, who said that? 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 Who said that?
All right.
What everybody's been waiting for, right?
What everybody's been waiting for, and I know some of you, although you don't want to admit it, you've been waiting for my thoughts on what I thought about the moment.
Yeah, I was trying to get you to go on yesterday to do a special.
No, everybody was doing it. So everybody was doing it. So I was like,
yeah, but everybody cares. See, now I don't care. Plus, I had a lot of good jokes. I can't remember half that shit now. I should have wrote it down.
That's okay, because I added my own little spin to it with a little special little tweak and twist, and I know that's probably gonna get thingy, but whatever. It was funny. So anyway, without further ado, let's go into what we'll be talking about first.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard.
See, what had happened was.
Wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. You know.
So yeah. I had to do it. So many things. Where do I begin? Granted, of course, we know that no one condones, nobody's for violence or anybody putting their hands on somebody. But part of those situations I get because I was there. And real brief, I was like that with my mama. It was like she had a very churchy way about her because she used to usher. She's always ushered. That was her thing. And she didn't like giving change during service. It's like she'll give it to you beforehand, but like during offering or whatever, no, you should have done that before. If you didn't do it before, I'm not giving it to you. You better go to another usher. And people would really have an issue. So when she brought it before the church one time at a church meeting, and I come from big churches, they was like, I nicely went up there and said, I don't know who I got in trouble for it, but was basically like, first of all, you're not gonna do not to my mama. We're not even having this kind of discussion. This is what she's brought forth. This is why it's brought forth, because it is a distraction. Because you don't believe in it, that's your business. But we're gonna respect it moving forward. Trust and believe. By the end of all that, we had just figured out a way not to have it while actual service is going on. But needless to say, I got it to the point where that wasn't his first time jabbing at Jada. He had done it when she boycotted the Oscars back in 2016. Oscars being so white and all that kind of stuff that was going on. So, granted. Now, part of me, and this is just me, my thoughts, CCNTV, Tony, Christian, whatever you want to call me. He's had a thing for Jada. And I think Jada kind of turned him down during his New Jack City.
His Pookie days.
His Pookie days. His New Jack City, his, the New Jack City, the Saturday Night Live, his early days. And he's never let that go. Because every time she's in the news with something, he's on it. He got something to say about her. And it's just like, I think he just had enough. He has just had enough. He probably wanted to address him when he said it the first time, but he did not for whatever reason. And it was just like, all right, keep playing. And granted, I get it. For me, the whole alopecia thing, I'm not necessarily buying it. I'm not saying she doesn't have alopecia, but I'm just saying, like we all know, Jada Pinkett Smith has always had short hair. She's always worn her hair short. So
yeah, but who doesn't know? Because of the red table talk.
Right, but I mean, it's possible that he could not have.
No, that was always. I mean, that was like out there type of thing. Because she started wearing the turbans and things like that, and then when her daughter shaved her head, I'm trying to think if the mother did too. I'm not sure. And
yeah,
so
they did it together, all three.
Yeah, I think they all did it together. But to continue.
No, but no, I'll take that. But my whole thing with him is to have a documentary movie talking about good hair. I just felt it was like, and then to mention G.I. Jane, of all the movies you could mention with like bald-headed women and her being black in and of itself, you could have talked about the Wakanda Warriors. You know? So I would have been more like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was because that's more recent and more relevant because most kids nowadays wouldn't even remember that old movie.
Who knows what the fuck G.I. Jane or G.I. Jane was? And then my thought was, well, maybe he saw her outfit and thought she looked like a green army soldier thing. You know, the little army toy soldier dress.
Oh, because of her gown?
Her gown with the bubble coat and all that kind of stuff. So
I hated that gown though.
Yeah.
It was ugly.
At the same time, I think, and then people tried to, escalate it to, oh, he didn't do that to Agus Alsina when he was messing around with Jada. We don't know that. We don't know if he didn't get kept. He just ain't kept.
Now that reminds me of a joke.
Yeah. We don't know. We don't know what happened.
Oh, we know what happened.
No, I mean, yeah, we know what happened during, but we don't know what happened.
It was probably during, before, after last week.
On the knowledge. So with all that said, I heard Jada has broken her silence about the situation. I don't know what she said, and people were like, well, he was laughing. Yeah, you can laugh at something to kind of keep from, holding it together, and then it's like, all right, cool. And when you see your person that you care about that much in distress or feeling some type of way, you don't give a flying fuck about anybody else or what they thought or any of that nature. So I mean, do I think he should have slapped the man? No. But at the same time, I mean, I'm not. Again, they both got more money than me, so it ain't.
Yeah, that's a rich person's problem, right?
Rich people problems. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so so you said some shit that you was going too far, but I think it was just already kind of on the precipice of happening between them after that first initial him going in hard on Jada because she chose to boycott the Oscars because it was quote unquote so white.
So white. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, your thoughts. I don't know that.
Well, all right, y'all. First one. Now, when Will slapped him, did that make you ladies and some gentlemen moist? was the first thing you thought about calling up August? Was that? I'm going to play both sides of the fence, okay? Yeah. I believe it was staged. Me
too. That's the first thing I thought. When I saw it, I was like, oh, is this a movie coming out or something? Because it was like, who just...
Yeah, it just looked real... It looked real...
Yeah,
it just didn't flow. It didn't flow like a normal thing. It looked really like we're just going to go, we're going to wing it type of thing.
Yeah.
Now, see, and another thing, we knew that shit wasn't real because we know Lupita. Now, she's not born here in the States.
Right.
Now, when his voice changed, you know that change. There could be 1,000 people in the room, and a motherfucker get to arguing, and you hear that change. You pick your shit up. It's time to go, okay? Because you know some shit about to pop off.
Well, you did see her face change though. Her face
But it wasn't the classic. You don't see when you do that shit, right? When that shit happened, you don't know what's about to pop off. These motherfuckers about to tear up some shit in here, and you not trying to be involved.
Right.
That you just pick your shit up. It's just it's in you. It's in our DNA. I pick my shit up and I'm going out the door. I'll get my plate later.
But I guess in that sense too, it's because they knew that there was ain't nobody have a piece on them kind of situation. That's the reason why most of the people
don't really need one. I mean, because
he
whipped some ass. I mean, Will's big enough. I mean, to go up against Chris Rock. I mean, that's not Chris. Chris Rock is. I mean, he's from New York, but he's not not from that. And
people's like,
well, even Will Smith's not that, but Will has trained.
It doesn't matter where you're from. You get slapped, you get slapped. But
but then too, we're not. Will's 6 years younger than me. We are not of that generation of slapping. We don't slap. That's not something we do. We don't. I mean, guys from the Middle East slap. My father and grandfather, they slapped. And when they slap, they're up on you because when they slap, they put their whole fucking shoulder in you. Chris didn't buckle.
Right.
And that's another thing. When he slapped, if Will would have slapped me as hard as that one, the pretend one was, I would be piss be running down my tux leg, okay? Slaps hurt.
Yeah.
Slaps hurt.
Yeah.
And if you look at the still, or even they both look like it kind of like a little smirk on their face, and Chris looked like he was getting ready for it. So he just kind of like he was already smiling up. And then Will was too far away to give an effective slap.
Right.
I heard his hand hit the mic, but if you looked at the mic was way down here.
Right.
I was looking for the mic to be up here.
Yeah.
And another thing, Chris' face didn't swell up. He didn't have a hand print, no makeup print or whatever, because he'd have slapped that mother as black as his ass is. He'd have turned another shade darker.
You would have seen the makeup removed from his face a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah,
now
that too.
Yeah, I mean it was all staged. Why didn't the security go up there?
Right, that's a good question.
It didn't matter. The security should have been at least at the base of the steps.
Yeah,
and why didn't anyone interrupt?
There was no
like the Source Awards and stuff like that. The BET Awards.
But I'm thinking too. My thought process, even on that, was for the people in the front part. They had already gone through the security. The security was to protect the people from the back from them. So they weren't really concerned with
anybody running up on stage.
Yeah, but
and it's still question why didn't the showrunner or that person's like, why is he coming up on stage? This isn't planned, because you're talking about a broadcasted show all over the world. So I'm not gonna let him. Why is he coming up here? What does he want?
Right.
It's a script. Why is he doing this?
Right.
He had put some ice on it. Yeah, he would have had to put some ice on his face, and he would not have stood straight up, and he would not have put his hands behind his back. Right. Motherfucker, you'd been grabbing your face.
Right.
No. Now I'll tell you, if he'd have slapped me, I'd have kicked his fucking back in. I'd have been hot. It would not have been. I would not have been able to keep my composure, because you've just embarrassed me in front of the whole fucking planet.
Yeah,
But
I think that's why it happened. It was like you embarrassed her, so I'm gonna embarrass you.
Now that's another thing. Jada. Now Jada's not my wife. My wife would have been up there faster than I would have. I wouldn't have been sitting up there laughing.
That part's right.
She'd have went up there.
Right.
And she'd have kicked his fucking back in. Okay.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I think it was all staged, and the reason why too, you're looking at the money aspect of the Oscars. Number one, they were doing a YouTube money grab. they
Right.
were
Yeah,
they were
that-
they
that-
was
yeah.
they was for cash apps.
Right.
That's what they were stunting for, because nobody's talking about the Oscars. I was
Even
over.
though the person that we should be talking about real quick, and sorry to cut you off, Samuel L. Jackson, for getting the Lifetime Achievement Award of the Oscars. About time he got something.
Yeah,
Shout out to that man.
how can you overlook him?
Everybody's been
His shit is
overlooking
always
him.
fucking memorable, even when he's playing. He plays serious parts.
First one of all times. Stop stalling, fat boy. The fuck is you motherfucker doing? Love it. Great. For those of you who don't know, that came from Coming to America. He was robbing the McDowells.
Yep.
Stop stalling, fat boy. But yeah. Shout out to Samuel L. Jackson for his Lifetime Achievement Award at the Oscars. But of course, he got overshadowed by the
by all. Yeah, not only that. Questlove won for what is it called? The Summer. The one about the it's on Hulu.
Soul Summer.
Soul Summer, and he won for that, and it overshadowed that because nobody's talking about that.
And that it was the first Oscars ever produced by a full black ensemble. Black. I think the director was black. The producers of the show were black. Like I said, they want to get us to come back. Right. So you're going to have a little ratchetness, because I wasn't paying any attention to it. Yeah, I was over a Conscious page, right? Because he was doing the marathon, right? Yeah. He got a whole bunch of crazy over there, and I was over there looking at that, and I happened to see something come across my Twitter. I was like, who slapped who? Who slaps who? Right? Yeah. And I think maybe part of it, and the last part I'm going to talk about, part of it for me thought too that it was like, y'all don't give a shit about us anyway. Y'all just now wanting to promote us and have us, I guess, give us a little edge at the table. So we're just going to give something to be like, okay, well, now we can go and do our own thing because you're going to not invite us anyway.
Well, look at the musical guests, the guests that they had, the musical guests, and it was geared to get black people to come back and talk about. Remember, they've been past couple of years, they've been dogging the hell out of them. You know, Oscars so white. Yeah. Now they're gonna say we ain't gonna have to let them niggas come back again.
right.
But like I said, I'm waiting for a couple of weeks later. They'll probably come along. They'll let it be. There'll be an uproar and everything, and people will mumble and grumble, and of course. And what it actually did was it helped divert the attention from all the tension that we have that's going over in Europe. You got a crazy man over there with nuclear weapons, and you don't know what this motherfucker, because I wasn't thinking about him dropping no bombs. I was too busy laughing at the dumb shit. It's like, well, shit, you gonna do it anyway. Ain't no use of me being stressed out about it. And I never thought any more about that shit over there. So it did serve its purpose. I did stop, I wasn't worried about it, because
what's going to happen. Going that great for him in Ukraine with his take over Kiev hasn't been panning out so well. So.
Yeah. So it made you forget all the stuff that was going on in the world. We have all this tension with our government and the bullshit that they're doing, the shit the shit that will eventually pop off over here because nothing's going our way. And look at they just signed the fucking goddamn lynching bill after 100 years, 100 years, and you're just and they think they accomplished something.
Of course.
But let's get back to the fuckness and the foolishness. But they are peoples and shit, but they're like relatives. It's like I only see you a couple times a year. That's enough. But definitely when Lupita didn't move, I knew some shit was shady then too. Because like I said, she'd have got the fuck up. Because that's something that's ingrained.
She was about to a little bit when he did it the second time. He said, "Keep my wife's name."
Let anybody look. Let Jennifer Lewis be sitting up that motherfucker. She done told him, "Hold up, motherfuckers."
Yeah, Jennifer Lewis would have been like, "Hold up, wait a minute." Time to go.
Because these motherfuckers get to fighting up here. She would have grabbed the purse bag and everybody else. Call my car.
Right.
You know? But it was. But if you look at it real close, you have to look at how close he was to Chris actually when he walked up on the stage. You need to look at the slap.
Right.
It looks like a theatrical movie slap.
Right.
No black men. Black men don't slap. I mean, you know,
Well,
and we just don't.
Will Smith has been slapping lately. Remember the guy that tried to kiss him?
Well, yeah, I just slapped him too. The motherfucker trying to, you know, it's fine you give somebody a hug, but goddamn, don't be trying to put your tongue down my throat.
Right. And speaking of,
and that wasn't even a slap. That was more like get out of my face.
Yeah. Hey, what you do that for?
Like, just pretty much just get out of my face. But
yeah,
you say Rick James slap? Yep, because that's the first thing I thought about. What the 5 fingers say to the face? Yeah, ladies, y'all didn't answer my question. Did that make y'all frisky? Did it make you hot? Did it get your juices flowing? Did you think about August? Because that was the first thing I thought about. And he went up there and slapped him. He was probably, I said, Jada done fuck that shit up, then fuck that boy's mind up. And then his mother was on this morning. She said, I just didn't believe it. And I was like, God damn, I forgot all about his mother is still alive.
Right. Yeah.
I said, and your wife is telling you that she slept with some you know, the young boy. That young boy was that's why her hair fell out.
Right.
He was sliding that head all up down those sheets. That shit was just sliding. And she did like that, and she was pointing to that ball line. I said, yeah, that's where the headboard, that bar across the bottom that holds the headboard together, because he was sliding her head back and forth. How many married men, and even if you are,
you know what it was? It was them silk sheets. It was them. No, listen, it's them silk sheets. It's the Egyptian cotton. It's the Egyptian cotton sheets. They ain't not
no, you didn't Egyptian cotton.
You go sliding around. I know personally. You go sliding around.
Is that what happened to your chin?
Right. You go sliding around in the Egyptian cotton sheets and fuck your life up. So yes.
Yeah, I mean, but just think about that's like ultimate embarrassment. Your mother knows your sexual habits. As far as you're married, and even if you're on the outs, I wouldn't want them to know. I wouldn't want her to know. I wouldn't want her to hear it on TV. You know, or because you know she probably sitting there watching Jada. She's Jada telling all her damn business.
Of course. But yeah, I mean,
the young man was rocking her world. Because she makes him look like a fool. And
yeah, I can.
You know, she does.
Yeah.
Because even if that was going on, shut the fuck up.
Right.
That's our business.
I mean, she didn't say anything. He was the one who exposed it. So, and I mean August when I say he was the one who exposed it. So then they had to come out and do like damage control because he had said it. And
they need to shut the fuck up. Stop putting all your business like that.
No, he had lit the world or the entertainment.
But you know what too? Then what he should have done to balance it out and says, well, you know, then you know, I've been guilty too. I'm out here doing. You don't have to give the person's name, identification, all right, that type of thing, because it has to be equal.
Right.
If you're gonna do something like that, it has to be equal.
Yeah, that part is true. But no, it was very interesting to say the least. Yeah,
it wasn't equal. That, and I'm tired of seeing him cry. Stop crying.
Yeah,
women don't respect you, man. You there's only
out of everything
reasons why you can cry.
Death.
Your mother's death, your father's death.
That's it.
And
maybe
and your man's pit bull that died. Those are the only 3.
That's
and
it.
after that, don't you cry too long. I'm telling you.
What's all this crying for? Like, if you crying that bad, what the fuck you do it for? Obviously, there's more to it. Like, it's more. It's, you know, it's more that you need to sit down with somebody and really talk out because you still feel some type of way.
No, what you need to do is walk your ass in that bedroom and close that door, go in that bathroom. That's what you need to do.
Well,
Because women don't respect you. And I ain't lying. Women do not respect you. If you cry too much and it's not one of those 3 reasons,
yeah.
they do not respect you after a while because they'll be like, oh, you're so keywords. You're so sensitive.
Right, yeah.
No, bitch! My
But
fucking mother just passed.
I think too that's what he was.
The puppy just got hit by a car.
I think that's another reason why he did it too, because it was just like so people could stop thinking he was weak because of what happened.
Throughout his whole career, it's always been like that.
Yeah.
Because
he's always been the soft rapper because he didn't curse in his raps and all this other kind of stuff. So it's just always been a battle to be like, no, I ain't soft, kind of thing.
Yeah, because of his type of music, and then he was clean cut enough to break into the movies to make that transition.
And make it well.
Do it well. But Lynn, why very true, Lynn. You know it. Don't let no woman see you cry for more than 5-15 minutes, and it better not be that ugly. I'm wailing, calling up Jesus, and everybody else cry.
Or the snot cry.
Yeah, or the snot.
He was doing the snot cry. It was almost like snot was about to start coming out. It was like, come on, man.
She seen him do that too much, and she don't have no respect.
She
expect you. She expect you to die 5 years earlier than she from heart to the arteries and the stroke because you've been holding in your goddamn emotions. Yeah. No, to all men, if you ever cry in front of a woman, you better go in the bathroom, get that shit out, and suck that shit up. Do that shit by yourself
and just scream.
You need to talk to somebody. You better talk to your homeboy. He'll understand. Don't talk to none of your women friends.
No, wait a minute.
You'll be done.
Homeboy you talk to too, because they be done told on your ass too. They be trying to steal your.
Know your friends.
They would have done an August house on your ass.
Yeah, because and they'll be rubbing ball spots in your woman's head.
Or some Egyptian
cotton sheets. They say we expect men to be strong. Yeah, but then you wonder why they flare up.
Right.
And see, that's another thing, because when he was sitting there, because I've done that. Mm-hmm. I'm having a conversation, we're laughing, and 2 seconds later, I'm fucking enraged, because something has triggered me.
Right.
And that comes from not being able to vent your emotions when you need to. It's energy that still needs to be released.
Yeah.
I've done that.
I'm telling you, he had that energy since 2016. I'm telling you, he was just sitting like, all right, we gonna go. But if he say one motherfucking word, it's over. It is over. Hey, man, is that you? Just want to let you know that you just pop on real quick because we don't need no porn bombage. So if this is you, Ms. Babs, please let it be you because I ain't got time. Hey, hello.
Hey, I had to turn off my YouTube.
Hey,
I didn't want to come up here with a big old echo.
Oh, what's going on?
Nothing. The whole Clarence Thomas thing, I'm kind of conflicted because, he's a human creature, but then also he's Clarence Thomas. So I don't really wish him well, to be honest. So I just don't wish him anything.
No, I'm not mad.
It's just like, he's in the hospital. He was in the hospital. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and kept it moving.
Like, he's okay. Oh, damn. Like, I felt like, oh, we got another seat opened up.
Right. I was like, so is it time to retire? Maybe, hopefully.
Oh, no. His wife is going to make sure he stay in that seat. Mm-hmm. She got to hook him up to a whole oxygen tank. She going to make sure.
Yeah, but
I was so shocked to hear that his wife was affiliated with the whole January 6th thing. Like, it really shocked me to my core.
Really? I don't know. When they first came out. And
y'all don't hear the sarcasm?
No, I'm just playing.
It was so surprising.
We
know Jenny.
Right. Jenny from the block.
So you should have stayed with that first wife.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't because, he was always taught that, when you elevate, you have to elevate.
Right. He was from back in that era.
Right. Like like many of the others that come across our political stage. And we'd be like, how do you have this thought process? Like, where do you get this from? But yeah,
he has many interesting thought processes though.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to delve into them.
Yeah, I was going to say, but they're coming out.
The little
we're starting to hear about it.
Right.
It really like he really serious. Like he's the first, and I'll say it for my own knowledge. He's the first Black person I've ever known of that was really like, yeah, we need to go back to segregation.
Like, oh well, dang.
Like pretty much. Like there's nothing wrong with it. I don't see what was wrong with it. We need to go back there. Who? There's some people that I don't mind. You stay over there. You could be over there, but to really
does he have security?
Yeah, all Supreme Court justices.
Oh well, that's maybe the reason why nobody's got him. Okay,
right.
All Supreme Court.
Because he would have been out of here.
Yeah.
I'm hoping somebody would take up the cause.
And also, why is critical race theory not terrifying to y'all? It strikes fear in the heart of so many. Like, why is it not a terrifying thing for you guys?
Because it tears the veil down off of Disney World. That's why. That's why it's terrifying to them. Because they like Disney World, and Disney World is everything is great, and this is a great nation, and we build things.
But it taught the little white boy in the book that he was racist, and that's sad. Do you want white babies to think they're racist?
No, because
Supreme Court justice.
Because we want white parents to know that you teach your white baby.
And we know where it comes from.
Right.
Why does Ted Cruz have such an affinity for children's books? Is what I want to know.
Ted Cruz has an affinity for a lot of things that he happens to not be a part of, like being white, but just happen to be a light Hispanic.
What's his Raphael is his real name?
Yes. Raphael Cruz.
Yes.
But okay, Ted.
Right.
Not only that, he's a punk because he didn't stand up for his wife.
Yeah, he should have smacked the mess out of Donald Trump for the stuff he said about his wife.
Right, exactly. Now, if anybody was going to slap somebody for something that they said about their wife, that should have been Ted Cruz.
And then didn't he call Ted Cruz a serial killer and say his dad was all associated with the Kennedy assassination and stuff?
Yes. And
but then he puckered right up.
All that stuff is nothing. All that stuff means nothing. And yet people still go out and vote for him. Like, I really don't understand. Right.
Between him and Lindsey Graham, I lost any respect I could have had for them.
Oh, Lady G.
Oh, so many things.
For the bottom to fall for...
Oh, his bottom to fall out.
His whole bottom to fall out. And his lover get exposed. And,
so my general philosophy is until somebody is out, they are whatever they say they are. But Lindsay, you got some things going on.
Well, the only thing about Lindsay is the entire Senate knows it. It's a running joke throughout the entire.
Yeah, everybody in the world.
It's like you've been a bachelor your whole life. He talks about this one woman that he dated, but that he never married, but. Nobody's ever seen.
He needs to just have his Shep Smith moment, and that would help the GOP because now you could say you have a prominent senator who's out.
That's it.
But they don't think.
Well, he's not going to do it in North Carolina.
I mean, he's 8 million years old. Why not?
I mean, yeah, he could have
his stay in power.
He could have his what's his face moment. His Caitlyn Jenner moment.
Oh Lord. No more white women. I've had enough.
But yeah, and the Will Smith thing, it didn't. I just laughed at it. It was hilarious to me.
Yeah,
it's just so staged. It just looked.
It did.
I don't think it was staged. I just think Will Smith is kind of like, he's always on. But I don't think it was a stage thing. That's just me, though.
What makes you think that it's not? Is there something that you see that we may not?
No, it was the after when he sat down. The way he was acting after he sat down, it seemed genuine.
Oh, when he started yelling.
Yeah. That part seemed genuine.
Oh yeah, that's easy. You know, it
Well,
really is.
I mean, shoot, it is what it is. What it is.
Because you got to remember, these are actors.
Right.
That's true.
That's turning
These are
into
actors, and
bad boy juice. Like, that's how you fucking drive. That's how you drive.
Now, if he'd have went up there and they got to tussling, then I would be more apt to believe it.
Yeah.
But black men in our age range don't slap. There's
a lot of things that black people typically don't do that the Smiths do, though.
Yeah, that is true.
They are an interesting family
One
overall.
for you, 0 for me.
They are an interesting
They are an odd bunch. They are an very odd bunch.
They relish in being different.
Yeah.
But you know what, too? You don't have to tell the world.
That's true.
They want to tell everybody.
Live in your, you can just live in your truth or whatever it is and be okay with that.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if I'm talking over anybody. It's a little bit low, so I can't hardly hear y'all.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
No, we're used to it.
Okay.
No, that and the fact that you also sometimes you have the delay and things like that.
Oh yeah, true.
Crosstalk. So yeah, but did him slapping him, did that make you was that
so overall I don't look at Will Smith like that. Like just in general. And no, him slapping Chris Rock wasn't going to get me all hot and bothered.
But if it wasn't, was that a romantic thing to do? Do you find that romantic? That someone would take up.
Like if I was with a dude and he went and slapped the mess out of somebody because they were disrespectful.
Right.
Not so much romantic, but I would be like, yeah, he actually wanted to defend me. That's nice. But then also I'll be like, where's our bail money? Because we're black and we're not rich. So you gonna go to jail.
Yeah, girl.
That part.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
But like I said, I just think the whole thing was staged.
Right. I get that.
But
it's a lot of people who think that it was staged.
It just looks awkward. It really looked awkward. The way that the camera shot was, the angle.
Yeah, and just him coming up on stage, like you said, that was really like, had that ever happened?
Because he had a long way to walk to think, oh,
that's true.
I'm about to make a fool of myself.
Right.
But like I said, they're doing YouTube stunts. Yeah. Okay. We need to get these numbers up. Yeah.
Hey, it's possible. And if it is the case, it is what it is, though. It just made me laugh either way. Because I was like, wow.
They came over to the B sector. They came to the B sector. We're going to be seeing
they're pulling junkie stunts, like they say.
Yes, junkie. Exactly. And it was a junkie stunt. But, oh, wow, I lost my train of thought. What I was getting ready to say.
That was quite interesting.
Well, when I come up and talk, I don't usually talk that long. Because I get tired of talking. It was nice talking to y'all, though.
Yes, and thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for coming up.
And don't be a stranger.
Please don't.
Yeah, I'll probably come up here another random time.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Right.
Let me hop off, y'all.
Okay.
Speaking of junkie stunts, all the stuff going on here on YouTube in the sector of the beef. I ain't really watched much of it. It knows a lot of. This one said that one said this. Now you mad at this one? That kind of whatever. It's whatever. I ain't even really.
Oh yeah. Oh, condolences to Bryant.
Yes.
Lost his mother over.
Condolences to Brian. Talk to me with Brian. He did lose his mother this week. So definitely prayers out to him. And tried to do it live. I mean, I think I needed a moment for myself after watching because it just brought so many memories back to me. So many. And I was just like, and my friend's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." But inside, it was that was a tough day. That was really a tough day because
because you do the strangest things. It just things that just don't seem to make too much sense. But it's you need to connect.
Yeah. Because the opposite had happened with me. I was there, so and once I got that call, I instantly knew like I needed to be there. It wasn't like, oh, I'll come around or I'm busy. It was like once I heard it, my inner soul said, "You have to like immediately go." But I know on the other end how that could be to hear it and not know or not think of it as it being something serious, and then it turns out to be that that's the last moment, and you feel like you are not worthy of being a son. But please hear me, you are her son. She's proud of everything that you accomplished, and even more so now, she is able to fully see everything that you will accomplish and will continue to be proud of you. So, in this moment of darkness, in a sense, know that she is far more powerful to do things in helping you see your full self now than she ever was praying for you, on earth. And that was tough. That was a really tough day.
Yeah, because I couldn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, that was I didn't either.
You know,
I said a few things, and then it was tough.
Because it's that.
Oh, because I yeah.
Go ahead. I mean, at that age, you would never think, "Oh my God, I'm an orphan," that type of thing, you know.
I don't think you ever do. I mean, really, you don't ever.
But it's that feeling. It's like, "Oh my God, I'm by myself."
Yeah.
Even if you have siblings, you know, I'm by myself.
Because
oh my God, what am I going to do?
So that one person connected everybody. And you don't realize. I mean, I did, of course, because she would always honk on me like, "Call your brother, like we text." No, call him. And I was like, I'm not calling them, whatever. But it was always her initiating, hey, call your siblings. Hey, call, have you spoken to? Hey, da-da-da-da. So it was always her making sure that we stayed connected, not just us ourselves. So when those kind of connections leave, the divide, between you guys kind of increases. And you become close during this time because, of course, you have to kind of band together. But even him talking about, people talking about insurance and all that kind of stuff, that those conversations
come up. Yeah. And it's irritating because it feels as though the timing is wrong, but you have to.
Wrong and the person is not valued. Or what they had is more valuable than who they were. And that's tough to, especially when you hold somebody, like your mother in such.
Well, you know what the difference in how you react to your parents. There is a vast difference. Mothers are always.
Yeah, mothers always.
Yeah,
they will always. But that was tough. That was tough. And so my prayers go out to him and his family.
And remember, there is no wrong way to mourn.
Yeah.
You mourn at your own rate and speed. You will mourn for the rest of your life.
Yeah. It comes in waves, as they always say. It does come in waves, and you will have moments where it will propel you to move forward, and you have moments where it will sit you down and have you reflective. But embrace it all, because it's there as a reminder. It's there for you to know that she is always with you. That her physical presence may no longer be with you, but she is still with you. So definitely
Yeah,
know
because
that.
he was beating himself up pretty bad,
Yeah,
and you can't do that because
yeah,
nobody knows.
yeah, yeah.
Nobody has foresight. Nobody
Right.
knows.
To know exactly what is happening when it happens.
Hmm.
You just know that you've done your part, and know that to be absent, of course, from the body is to be present with the Lord, and two, that the Lord only takes when their assignment is up. So there's nothing more that she could have done, although there was, of course, things that you would like for her to see, but she, of course, will see them.
Yeah, and you
She
got to speak to her.
right, uh, and all those lessons and those things that you
Hmm.
thought were, uh, pointless. Those,
And believe it or not, you'll actually
you'll follow,
You'll hear more of it now
yeah, than you did before.
than
Ever.
you did before. Uh-huh.
That's sweet.
I mean, they're imprinted, they're
Yeah,
ingrained
yeah,
into into you. You know, you're their child.
yeah. So
And just don't assume because they're not here in the body that they're not with you.
right, yeah,
Their teachings and everything. Then you'll the real crazy part is you'll start to sound like them
right,
in the
and
things that you say and that you
even
do.
your actions.
Yes.
You're like, oh, that whole commercial where they be like people acting like their parents. You really start to
Hmm.
kind of embody that.
Yeah, but
So,
definitely don't allow people to tell you how to mourn.
right, and
You do it your way.
definitely don't beat yourself up.
Hmm.
You're not a bad son. Everything happens for a
For a
reason.
reason.
It is
Hmm.
our understanding to know why things happen the way they happen. Know that you did what you could do when you could do it, and there is a transition time and a moment where none of us are allowed in that realm to where the transition happens or right before it happens. So it had really nothing to do with you, although you may feel that way. It really didn't have anything to do with you. Uh, but I pray for your strength, and you'll never get over it. You'll just learn to kind of deal with it as it comes. Those moments,
Hmm.
those holidays, those birthdays, the other, days that come. I'm coming into that period of that for myself. So I know when it starts to creep up, it starts to be a bit more inward than I normally would be, just because it's just that time. But it is what it is. You'll learn to kind of adapt to it and adjust as it comes. And also, a friend of mine had also lost his sister, so shout out to him. He had lost his sister recently as well, and that's been pretty tough. So trust and believe. We are, people are leaving us as we go on as our daily lives, but know that they are uh, not
I mean, it's already been hard the past,
yeah,
2 years.
right. So definitely. I want everybody to stay encouraged and
Yeah, I know how the
stay,
sector can. Yeah, this place is kind of strange. I'll just be nice.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's kind of strange.
This place is kind of strange, but you just have to have the ability sometimes to look past it, because a lot of times these people are broken, and that's the
Hmm.
truth and the reality of it. A lot of these people are broken. They are
Yeah.
broke. They are broken spiritually. They are broken mentally. They are broken, completely broken, and they look to you all to fulfill those cracks in them.
Hmm.
So when we praise behavior that is beyond the pale, when we praise behavior as adults that go way too far, that you would even question somebody who was in your circle who did that, uh, that's where
Yeah, you call them out on it.
yeah, then you
Because there is a line. I mean, even though they say this,
this is,
this
you
is the
can't tell
this
somebody how
is
to beef. Like you,
the beef. Everything is not up for grabs. Everything is not folly.
it really
You
isn't.
know.
Same thing with everything else. If it's just about you, or if they're coming at you, then why just let it be
Hmm.
on you? Let it not be about other people. And
because because they do some horrible shit. They do some real horrible shit. But the reason why they do that shit is because they have people that follow them and continue to laugh and giggle and everything else.
Because it ain't them.
Because it's not them. But what you should do is put their ass on point and blast them.
That's it.
Plain and simple. I mean, because you can only do but so much.
That's it. That is it.
And then it's they'll say this. Oh well, I didn't mean to whatever. No, you shouldn't have fucking done it in the first place.
Right. Exactly.
You do have rules. You can't. I mean, then when they sit up there and say, "Well, this, like you said, this is the beefing sector, and this is how, and we always do this. This is just like no, but you have to draw the fucking line somewhere.
As an adult, you have to have. There should be a moral compass. There should be a level where you say, "All right, I'm not going to go that far because it really don't deserve all that." Because at the end of the day, it don't. In the end of the day, it does not. You don't need to go as far as to prove what to whom. You're on the outside of a screen talking to no one. So what do you have to prove? Nothing. It is what it is. And some people feel like they're untouchable. You can't speak on them.
Yes.
Please. Everybody is on here, can be talked about. Whether you like it or not. Somebody
all got dirty drawers.
Some more dirtier than others if they can reach them. But it's enough. Like really, enough's enough. Get help. That's all I can say is sit down and talk to someone because it's too many broken folks trying to.
And that's definitely a fact here.
Trying to patch up their own brokenness and broken families and broken feelings about themselves by demeaning others, which I think is ridiculous. Because the fact of the matter is, the ones you try to kind of beat up on or think you can get away with, they're not even worried about what you're saying because it doesn't affect them.
Yeah.
It only affects people like yourself who who need that kind of praise and all that kind of stuff from people that really don't care nothing for you. You don't know what real love, real care, genuine concern is. Everything has come with a stipulation. So.
And remember, if it's somebody that you are subscribed to and they're not moving the way that you think they should, just remember, it's just going to be a matter of time before they come for you.
But
just unsubscribe. You don't have to be bothered with it. You control who you allow in your.
That's it.
Just unsubscribe to them.
That's it.
You don't have to, And if they ask you why, you tell them why.
That is it in a nutshell.
Because they do a lot of heartless shit around here. And it's always the same key players, and I'm surprised their heads haven't been bust down to the white meat. It's always the same ones.
People scared. That's why, because people scared because they act like they don't want to be. It's almost like a Trump situation when I think of it. They don't want to be the one tweeted about or talked about, and it's just like, who the fuck cares? Like, okay, so they're gonna talk about you for a couple of days, and they're gonna be over it, and they're gonna move on to the next. Be strong enough to stand on your own 2 feet, and if you don't like it, you just don't like it, and point blank period, you let the person know, I didn't like it, I didn't agree with it, it was what it was, and keep it moving. People act like they'll lose their entire lives if they speak up or say, well, I didn't necessarily agree when you did XYZ. You have a right.
Yeah, and that's right, Len. I have whittled down who I watch on my list so small that I have to watch kitten and puppy videos to pass my time away because they're so fucking cute. But because of just the dumbness that that goes on. See, I can't. Patty, we know you can't do the beef sector. You need all your brains. So you say you old.
Well, as we get ready to part,
yes, I was going to say we're way past your time. We flowed on that one.
As we get ready to part, I did get a little early Easter message that I wanted to share with you guys. So here we go.
Peace and mercy be unto you from God our Father and Savior Lord Jesus Christ. Greetings from Mother. When I think of the goodness of Jesus and all that He done for me, my soul cries out, hallelujah. I will trust in the Lord. I will trust in the Lord. I will trust Lord until I die.
Well, on that note, I hope this wonderful Easter blessing as we embark on the holiday, the Holy Week and that to come. Everybody have a blessed.
Ouija. Oh my God.
Holiday and Holy Spirit.
Woo!
And if you know, you know. And if you don't know, then you just don't know. But anyway, yes, please make sure that you
I
make
hate you
sure.
so much. I really do. I hate you so much.
And I love you, big bro. Everybody, please have a great, wonderful holiday. Because it was funny. And know that I'm done, bitch. Let me stop. But yeah.
Oh my God.
That
This thing got me crying now. They ain't gonna take me serious.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right. And if you know, you know. And if you don't know, you just don't know. And I'm leaving it at that. But yeah. And that was a beautiful Easter message. Nice little solo. Very canny. Very canny.
Ooh. Ooh, hurry up. We gotta go. I gotta go pee.
All right. Everybody have a blessed night. Moisturize. Stay safe. Stay focused.
Everybody take care now.
God bless.